Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Let Me Finish. This is your boy Dom.
This is Greg.
And this is Antonio.
Thank you for tuning in again. I'm sorry you didn't hear Antonio's Hispanic accent that time. Go back to last episode and listen to it again.
Muy problematic.
Honestly, I didn't like how it sounded, so I dropped it.
I thought it was hilarious. It could have been your niche. You could have kept it
Keep
going.
searching. That's what I say. Keep searching. You're on the right track. Just keep trying.
You know, I'm gonna keep working on it because I've never heard myself say that accent, and I'm like, ooh, that doesn't sound right. So I'm gonna keep working on that.
Oh, so when you listen back, it felt right coming out. When it came out, you were like, "Ooh, yeah, that hit."
It didn't hit when I heard it, so yeah. So I'm gonna work on that.
I think that's the benefit of listening to yourself speak, right? Where you're kind of like, "Oh, fuck this! I can't stand this," and then you're like, "No, this is the way you sound. Just like get with it.
Deal with it.
This is who you are."
Or you thought it was very, cultural appropriation a little bit.
No.
I mean, the name does lend itself to a certain exoticness, I would say, and maybe that's wrong on my part, but it does,
Also, I don't believe in cultural appropriation. I believe in embracing and
And we will skip over that topic. Welcome again, everybody. Let's start off. Like, what's been going on this weekend, guys? What did you guys do?
Oh,
I think I should start.
Go for it.
My week or weekend?
Weekend.
Ooh, it started off stressful. I'm gonna be a little vague, but not too detailed. I had an HR issue at work where someone was almost termed for possible drug use.
At work?
Yeah, very complicated situation. But I'm not a manager, but
you're a manager.
I'm in a leadership position.
Yeah.
Where I have responsibilities, and someone came to me about a concern about an item that was found that was not a drug paraphernalia item, but it resembled something that had a substance, and having to report that up to HR. And I won't say who I work for, but the company's kind of a startup, and they handled it way incorrectly, and it got way out of hand, and I was stressed out. So me and Greg, I went to Greg's friend's birthday dinner Friday night.
Round Rock. Yeah.
Yeah, with Round Rock, and I think Greg could see I was visibly couldn't focus, was kind of out of it, if you recall.
Just kind of like how I was just 10 minutes ago when you were outside my door. Yeah.
So that kind of messed up my weekend. It's been somewhat resolved as of right now, which is Tuesday, but yeah, my weekend was kind of stressful.
Okay, we have follow-up questions, obviously.
Yes, sure.
You say a drug. Would it be like a Class A misdemeanor, or is it like
I don't know
class...
the difference of those.
I don't know the difference either.
Yeah, I've never been arrested for
I guess we want to know what drug was it?
Can I say?
Yeah, why not?
Oh yeah, the drug in question was cocaine.
Oh, okay, so that's worse than weed, because my initial thought was like, oh, weed, and I'm like, I don't know.
But people
it's
say
not a big deal.
Cocaine is a party drug, so I don't really understand why you would want to do that at work. Is it like a pick me up? Like, hey, let me just sniff a couple lines.
Oh, it's
just
like.
Okay,
for sure.
Maybe
It'll make you focus.
Let's give this person the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they just needed, a little more help.
I mean, is their work do you think benefited by cocaine? Do you think that
my job has a strict drug policy because it's
as they should.
It's without saying too much, it's an aviation job. So yeah, as you know, if anybody knows about aviation, there is a strict no tolerance policy for any drug. So I'll say that. Now this guy is still here. There was no drug test. After getting clarification and having to address it with him, and I had to suspend him.
Oh, okay.
Myself, I had to verbally tell him it's been resolved, but there's still like a dynamic of the coworkers who kind of made the accusation. So my weekend was stressful. Honestly, it stressed me out because I felt like me having to tell this guy this, I ruined his entire weekend, which I kind of did, and he admitted it, saying he was stressed out, thinking his job was being lost. But realizing that leadership roles do have responsibility, and the things you do can affect other people, it really hit home this weekend. So I was really worried that something that maybe wasn't an issue affected someone's livelihood, because this wasn't just his job. This could have been his license, his livelihood. So but stressful weekend.
Well, my weekend was not very lackluster. I didn't really do anything that exciting. I had a volleyball game on Friday, which my friends never come and support me. But that's a topic for another day. That's a topic for another day. Them ratings just went down from last week. Everybody. But no, I had a game. Did pretty well with my team. I'm having a great season. So yeah, I'm having fun. Saturday, we all went to a birthday dinner for a mutual friend. I had a great Saturday night. Some better than others on that Saturday, but
Oh my God.
We all had a great time. And
I don't know about this.
the only downside of my weekend has a lot to do with my significant other. Sunday we kind of got into it a little bit. Memphis is what he'll be referring to. Decided to go out and hang out with his friends Sunday evening, which I never have a problem with, But he has a problem with staying out a little too late sometimes, and he doesn't quite know how to say no when it comes to like his friends like wanting to go to a different bar or like having 12 more shots. I don't mean 12 literally.
I struggle
12
with
more
that.
shots. So it's something that we're working on and having conversations about. So we kind of had a conversation this weekend, but other than that, everything was good. Everything was well. We're good.
Does Memphis listen to this?
Yeah, he listens and he knows what my concerns are. He knows stuff that he needs to work on. No relationship is perfect. Last week I told you how I'm not perfect, so we're trying to have.
I don't remember that. Roll back the tape.
No, he did. He did.
So
I'm
yeah,
perfectly single.
yeah, we're working through things. Every relationship has its up and downs, and I'm just glad we're able to have a conversation about it and not like scream and yell at each other, which is pretty healthy, I believe. So yeah, that was my weekend.
Good.
That sounds like a good weekend. And so I was, there for Antonio's kind of like being in his head at dinner, though he slowly loosened up.
Alcohol.
Yeah, alcohol always helps. And we were celebrating my friend Round Rock's birthday, came into town. We had a full ass weekend.
Yeah.
Like one of those weekends where you're like, that was so fun. And then Monday rolls around and it's like 9:30 on a Monday and you're like, oh my God. I haven't thought about this day all weekend long. Like I've lived like there's no like week next week. So it's been kind of a tough week, when you have a really fun weekend and you kind of have a downer.
Yeah.
But the weekend was fun and yeah, I guess I'm kind of famous now. Well, let me back up. So
Please tell the people.
Excuse us?
Tell the people.
Darius' birthday, which we all were in attendance for on Saturday. We went and ate at this cool place in Deep Ellum.
Vedora.
Vedora.
The food was fire.
Shout out. It was. Ambiance on point.
Yeah,
So
very good.
Chips and queso.
Then chips and queso, yeah, fundido style, like steaming and bubbling.
It was affordable.
It was affordable. And
The
that's
drinks were also very
important
good.
for us.
Very
Yeah, I
good.
got
I'm gonna
the Patron like shelf shots. It was pretty
going back.
sick. But then we went to a strip club, right?
Yep.
Antonio didn't go because I'm like trash. I'm kind of lame.
I don't know if
No.
it's technically a strip club. I'll call it like a go-go dance car. Like they take off their clothes, but they don't get naked. Like I consider a strip club where you go and they get completely naked. In this case, they don't get completely naked, but they do get down in like their thongs and underwear. So,
I think
yeah.
there's only certain states that they can get naked. Like,
Yeah.
so yeah.
It's very like, to paint a picture, like imagine a Magic Mike type review where they come out in costumes and they dance to different songs and they kind of have their own like persona, right? So there's like the muy caliente, like, Latino guy, and then, there's the white, beefy, like
Muscular,
redneck
yeah.
guy that comes out to a country song, right? And then-
Somebody's dressed up as a police officer,
Exactly.
like a firefighter, like
Is this run by straight people?
No,
It sounds very like straight.
it's advertised as a gay bar.
Is it though?
Yeah, but
There's a lot of females
there's a lot of
there, I would
females
say.
to go. Yeah,
Probably, I think they're the dancers, like girlfriends and wives.
yeah.
So Round Rock got $100 of ones out, right? And we were just like, okay, let's go wild. We gave Darius a lap dance, and then Round Rock left and left me with the remainder of the $100 from once, right?
That's nice.
And so I'm just trying to, get the party pumping. I'm trying to, show up and show out for my friends. So, a dancer's, on stage, and I just, mosey my way up to the stage to give him a couple dollars, right? And he, grabs me by the shoulders and turns me around and sits me on stage in a seat, right? And starts giving me a private lap dance. But it's not private, it's very public.
In front of the whole crowd.
I saw
Yes.
the video, so yeah, it wasn't private.
It was wild.
And-
I was having the time of my life with that. I was like, oh my gosh, look.
It was crazy because I'm not aroused when I go to a strip club like that, right? But I was on stage, so I felt like I was playing the role of horny guy, right?
Yeah.
All eyes on me, ooh, I gotta be enjoying this, right? And so I was feeling on his body. At one point, I kissed his neck, which I think is normal, actually.
Ooh.
And then so he's grinding on me.
And then
I'm middle of this story, I hate that I'm telling this story. And so then he does this weird flip over,
Yes.
where his crotch is in my his face is in my lap, and then he flips over and his crotch is literally straddling my head, right? And he's just going back and forth, and at that point I was
Ireland didn't record this one.
what were the smells?
Yeah, because
he smelled nice,
Oh, okay.
Okay.
a little sweaty, yeah.
Okay.
Because I have a bad stripper smell story from back in Atlanta at whatever the gay strip club is in Atlanta is. So yeah, I'm glad he smelled good because.
And the one of the funniest parts, I don't know, we're not going to say the name of the club so y'all can go try to look up this video that they literally did post. But
What?
one of the funniest parts is that at one point Greg is just mesmerized and he just digs in his pocket for more ones and just starts throwing them all over this guy. It was definitely a sight, but we had a ball. It was a lot of fun.
Wait,
And-
the video's on their page?
Yep.
So yeah, this is where I'm famous, quote unquote. Is Sunday, I'm going about my self-care routine, just unwinding from a wonderful weekend, and then all of a sudden, I get a Instagram alert, and somebody that I haven't talked to in 6 years, that I knew from doing improv comedy was oh, I spotted Uncle Greg in the wild.
Yeah, that was really weird because even if it was one of my friends, I would never throw my friend's name out there like that in that type of situation because you don't know if that person wants that information in their business out like that. You didn't ask for that to happen. That just happened that night. And then to have people go and tag you and be oh, I recognize who that person is. Mind your business. Yeah.
Well, one, I'm glad it was flagged to my attention. It was a weird end to my Sunday. And then I had multiple people being oh, I'll tell them to take it down. Are you uncomfortable with this? This was without your consent. But by about Monday afternoon, I was just sending it to people. Oh, Antonio, you're watching it?
Oh my god. Oh, okay. Ooh.
Yeah.
But they really did do a supercut of all the times that I was didn't look scared.
Jesus.
He was very professional and that man.
They got you out there.
They knew what he was doing.
I gotta watch this again. Hold on.
So yeah, you had a fun weekend.
I guess
for the most
so.
part.
According to Instagram Reels.
You had a great weekend. Everyone, so this week we're gonna have a fun topic this week. We're gonna be talking about most likely, and that's most likely who we think is the most likely to do different stuff. We thought this would be really fun, a fun way to have a conversation with you all listening this week. So, what should we start off with?
Now, can I say real quick, the way
Yes.
we're going to do this is we're going to read the topic of who's the most likely to whatever, XXX, and then we're all going to say who we think is most likely, and then that person can either agree or it'd be a rebuttal. So just kind of how we're going to go about it.
Or if we disagree and we think we are most likely to do that thing, but our name wasn't said, we can explain why we think we're a better fit for that particular category. Sure. And another thing I want to put out there, we've been mentioning a lot of weird names like Round Rock in Memphis. Anytime we have a conversation about someone we're involved with, they will have a code name. because we don't want to put their business out there like that. You know, even though our business is out there on the podcast, we don't want to share too much of their personal information. So if you hear any weird code names for people, that's probably why you hear those things.
And it's not even just involvement; it's just our friends to protect them. Like I called a friend Ireland, who we all think we know who that is.
Yeah.
So we'll have code names for people that we know and just want to keep
Yeah, and
private.
Candle.
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 We like Candle.
And the reason we do
I
that
love
is
that.
because consent is very important. As I told you earlier, I didn't get consent when I was being grinded on top of, but I look good, so I don't mind ultimately. But we're always in the service of our friends.
All right, so we're gonna kick things off here, and let's start with this. Who's most likely to become a millionaire? What do you guys think?
Marry a millionaire or become a millionaire from their own hard work.
Well, it doesn't matter how you become a millionaire.
That's true.
Ooh, that's
I didn't even think about that.
But
That's
my
good.
thought is like, oh, it's one thing if you like just married a daddy, and I think that would be Antonio probably.
Yeah. I think I would agree. I think out of all three of us, he probably has the best track record when it comes to older men. So
honestly, I agree with that. If I feel like if I didn't have any morals, to be totally honest, if I had no morals about myself, I'd probably already be married to a millionaire. I would probably have an OnlyFans. I would probably have met some guy that's going to be a sugar daddy that was going to take me away and whisk me away from all this trying to work and be productive and learn these new skills. But I have morals.
Okay,
and
skills.
morals, they're great, but they suck. So I actually agree with that I probably would be the first. But wait, that's not the question, though. The question is
Who would be the millionaire first, or who would be most likely to become a millionaire?
Right. So if we're talking about marrying, yeah, it'd probably be me. But let's take out the marrying aspect and let's put it into
Business acumen, hard
who's
work,
going to earn
ingenuity. Who's gonna invent the next? I don't know, bullet, or air fryer, or
I think we get it. We get it.
bullet or
I'm
air
gonna
fryer?
jump out there and I'm gonna say Greg.
Me?
Like, a little fun fact for everyone out there, like, he may or may not create music, and I feel like all you have to do is get your music in front of the right person, and then your life could change.
In that one song.
It could take one TikTok video and your life blows up. And I don't sing. I'm not a musician. As far as I know, Antonio's not either.
Nope.
So I feel like, for something like that to take place, yeah. I mean, you're already viral. Just put your music to it,
Honestly, yeah. Use that moment and
I should listen to this, drop the SoundCloud link underneath that lap dance.
And put the podcast link right under that.
wait, you're on Spotify. You can go better than SoundCloud. You're Spotify now.
No, you're right. You're
Yeah.
so right. Put the podcast after my music.
Yeah, like right under it. Like,
Which song?
Let me be very clear. I don't care who becomes a millionaire first, as long as you break me off a little something. I don't even ask for much.
The thing is, $1 million is not a lot.
But 50,000 of that,
Or like a nice
to
trip.
me,
I paid for a trip.
I can do a lot with that.
Okay, if all of us became millionaires, who would be most likely to be stingy with that million, and who would be most likely to give it all away?
I wouldn't be stingy about it, but I would be careful.
You'd still
about
be sending the Venmo requests.
No.
Where's my 50,000?
I would be generous when it comes to people in my life and my family and my friends. And if I know that I could help out with something and I have the money to do it, I would do it. And I wouldn't expect them to give it back. If I invest in your company or something, I'm going to expect to get my money back. I would love to be on Shark Tank.
Or a return on investment.
Yeah. But if it's something, if I can help out, you can help with some debt or something, I'll help out my friends if I have the money to do it. Why not?
I already do that. Next topic.
Who do we think is most likely to become an influencer?
I would say Antonio normally, but
I don't post.
this whole podcast thing is making me look at you a little bit differently.
Really?
Think, yeah. Like, you're all about wellness and, like, betterment, and you really do care about our non-existent listeners. So, like, I could see you being like...
Our listeners are not non-existent.
They're there.
Okay, they
Eight?
are there.
They just don't know yet.
They don't know yet.
And they may
coming.
not be there yet, but they're there now.
Oh, they're coming. See, I would say Greg because you actually post on TikTok and you post your face and you talk, and I feel like you, Greg. You just got to put some effort behind it.
And you're funny.
But the
You
thing
are
that-
funny.
I mean, we're
Probably one of the
all
funniest people
funny.
I know.
Your Twitter be funny.
We're
It used to
all
be funny.
See, all these things that you're saying in the past, like, it's been over a year since I did TikTok. It's been over 2 years since I released music.
But where is it?
I haven't had a good fucking tweet in a while.
Yeah, you kind of have it, but where?
I fell off.
But I feel like it's there. You still got it in you. I feel like you got that really random tweets.
And I feel like Greg could do it, but I think Antonio would be very, like, unexpected. Like, he does stuff with, like, drones and stuff like that. Like, let him get a good shot of, like,
And I never posted.
and he never posts. But if he posts that stuff on Instagram or something, like, people could, like, flock to, like, see his visuals. Like,
Yeah.
he's very talented as a...
Can you guys push me to do that? Because I have terabytes of content. I do so much work, but I don't know why I'm so weird about social media.
Are you scared to share it with the world?
I don't know what it is. It's like,
A fear of opinions? A fear of...
no, I've kind of gotten over that because one thing I realize is that the content I post is not for everyone, right? Some
No.
people may not give a fuck about my area photos. Like, I literally stopped at White Rock Lake after work yesterday and took like a couple cool photos and video clips. And I love the photos, but I'm like, it's just sitting on my phone. I think it's beautiful, but just post it, but I won't.
Just put it
You
out
should.
there.
Just-
Put it out in
just
the
throw it.
world.
Like, and this is me. This is not just saying this on the podcast. If you guys could be like, "Hey, Antonio, post something." If you just say it to me every now and again, I think that would help me just be like, "Man, fuck it, just boom." Because I'm
Don't
not
you
posting.
have an Instagram page dedicated to your post, your
Literally-
visuals and
okay,
everything?
Other than that, that's the only page. I'm actually not even logged into my normal Instagram, like my one you guys all have.
Mm-hmm.
I'm only logged into my photography one, but I don't post. And my last post, as I'm looking at it, I should plug it here, but maybe not. My last post was on October 3rd, 2022.
Yeah.
See?
That's not that long ago.
I mean,
No,
it's
that's
not that
a-
long
like-
ago, but
And
like...
social media, that's like forever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you're trying to be an influencer, Tone, which this is what I'm hearing.
We're not saying that he's
Whoa.
trying to be
No,
one,
but he's like, he has a desire to like put his art out there, and like also he's not bad looking. So coupled with like being attractive and also putting your shit out there, like
It helps.
you can get some thirsty people.
Like this photo I took of the dock. It's like, it's kind of cool.
It's
I
so
should just
cool.
post
That's
it.
beautiful.
It's so cool. That could be somebody's computer's background.
It actually could. My background
You
is
know?
a photo I took of my cat on my laptop, but let's not talk about my
But
cat.
make sure you put
We'll
your
get to
watermark on there because I refuse to let you all take advantage
enough.
of my friend and steal his images. Okay?
Fair enough. So I'm gonna start posting. Thank you guys.
Please.
Okay. Or
And speaking of Antonio not posting, who is the the most likely to go off the grid?
Antonio.
100% Antonio.
100% Antonio.
Wait,
Like,
I say
I
that?
don't think I've met anybody that's able to go completely off the grid as quickly as Antonio can.
I love it.
And he'll pop out every once in a while and be like, "Hey, I'm still here, everybody. Just
alive.
let you know."
I'm just chilling. Yeah, I don't know. It's like the last couple years have been interesting because of like therapy and finding things about myself out. But I found peace in just like shutting down a lot of shit because you guys know I'm busy right now, do a lot of work, but I've dealt with like having too many people in my life, too many things going on. But sometimes it's just like the ideal of getting away excites me because it's just get away, you shut out everything, and you're able to work on just yourself. You don't have any distractions, and I just love that idea. Like one of my things I want to do long term is I want to take like a week somewhere in the West Coast, like maybe Utah, Arizona. I kind of want to do one of those like retreats where you do ayahuasca or shrooms. Just have a week where it's you, it's nature, it's you take whatever substance to get deep into yourself and like just figure shit out. That's something I want to do.
One of those
so.
naked retreats.
It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be naked.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But if they're like attractive people, I wouldn't mind. But yeah, nudity is not required. It's just getting away and having complete no distraction. I don't want my cell phone going off. I don't want to know what's going on in sports or what's going on social media. I would love that, and that is one of my bucket list things to do at some point. Just have like a full week retreat, get away, do a substance, get in tune with yourself, have someone guide you, make sure you're okay, and yeah. So that is completely accurate. I could fall off the grid easily.
Oh, good. We also agree with you that you were that person.
You're definitely that person.
I'm somewhat off the grid right now, to be honest, because I haven't No apps, no social media, little social media, very limited.
So I
Secret
guess
Twitter.
Moving on,
Which doesn't count.
rolling into what I see next here, like being off the grid. Who is most likely to move to another country?
Antonio again, and I feel like you're getting neglected in all these in Dom. I could see you like moving to a different country.
Let me tell you something. I'm absolutely terrified. I've only been out the country one time, and that was to Mexico. So I don't really know if that counts, honestly.
It counts.
But I have a fear. This will be a topic for another day. But I have a fear of like being lost and not knowing how to get back to like civilization. And one of those fears involved being in a different country and none of my devices work, and I don't know how to get back to where the hell I'm supposed to. So I don't think I'm fitting for this. I don't think I would ever be comfortable enough to move to a different country. But I don't know. Maybe Antonio.
I think
but
Antonio.
Maybe Greg too.
No, I would go visit a different country. But Texas is probably where I'll die. And
Whoa.
I mean,
Dark.
I guess we weren't talking about where. Yeah. Anyways, I would love to go visit more countries. I would like to see more things. I'm a little bit like Dom, where I'm not this nomad traveler, right? Like I'll just need basically like an ayahuasca guide, but like a guide in like a different country where there's a different language, somebody that's kind of leading the way. I'm good with direction, but I tend to just like not know what to do next. So
Yeah.
I do feel that where I'm kind of like, but you can get used to anything, right? I'm learning Spanish this year with the goal of like being comfortable in
nice.
travel in Mexico alone. So
Didn't know that.
I
never know.
didn't know that either.
Yeah, Mexico alone scares me, but by yourself, because I don't know, just whatever.
Yeah, you don't want to get kidnapped. I'm not saying that people that go to Mexico get kidnapped. People that go to any type of country
Anywhere.
that you're not familiar with.
There's good parts and bad parts.
And I know somebody once told me, like, who wants to kidnap a 30-plus-year-old man? Like, there's
Honestly,
somebody
true.
out there
It's
that
very true.
would like me to be a sex slave, and I don't want that for myself. Right
no,
now.
they would just hold you for ransom. What?
Or that too. Like,
You're an American,
Is that really why you don't go out of the country? Because you just think
Terrified.
everybody wants to make you a sex slave?
I want to go out of the country. I want to do it as a group. I want to do it with friends. So if something happens to me, it happens to all of us. I don't want to.
Side note: traveling with friends should be a topic that we discuss in a later episode.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, it is just
100%.
Yeah.
you learn so much about yourself and your relationship with this person.
Yes.
Traveling with a significant other is a
Yes.
whole different ballgame. Like
Whole
that can
different ballgame.
make or break, and the upside and downside is like it's more likely to break your relationship.
Tell me about it.
Let's not go too far on that. That's a
Yeah.
totally different topic.
Right.
I can see myself out the country at some point living, maybe not full time, but at least temporarily for like a year or so. I don't know where, don't know how, but I could definitely see myself living out the country somewhere, just to see life in a different perspective than America. So
Word.
I'm
Well,
all
I'll
for
come
it.
visit you. Okay, so here's another one. Most likely to be in a throuple.
Oh.
And why does it keep coming to Antonio? Because
why me on this one? Actually, you know what?
I don't know if it's Antonio on that one. And let me tell you why. I feel like first, in order to be in a throuple, you need to be committed to one person in order to be committed to two people. And I just don't think that would be the right scenario for you.
Okay, first I feel a little attacked, but that's okay. Actually, okay, I felt attacked, but as I thought about it, so this is one thing I thought about too as far as being in a relationship is this was another topic I wanted to bring up at some point, or maybe just something I want to talk about, but a little thing about me is I don't know if I have the ability to be monogamous. So with that being said, a throuple, there's a 50% part of me that could kind of see it, but the other 50% says you're now dealing with two people, two personalities.
two people that are like WID, like where you been, what's going on.
And how do you appease two people that need time and intimacy? And
Man, it's hard enough to appease one.
yeah,
Exactly. But like
So-
think about the fact that they could hang out with each other while you're off doing your side hustles, you're off the
But they have
grid,
to
you're doing
like-
ayahuasca, you're going to other countries.
it sounds like I should be single.
It's like they haven't seen you in years.
Yeah, it's like, where is he? I don't know. He's somewhere doing ayahuasca in a forest.
But like that sounds like the level of commitment that you're ready for, honestly.
I would would
Yeah.
be to 100% honest. Like at one point in my life, I thought that's something that I would be interested in doing until it was offered to me. Like I was actually offered to be a part of this couple's throuple at one point. And I really love them. Like they're awesome. They were so nice, so sweet. I enjoyed our conversations and just hanging out and doing stuff with each other. But I just didn't have that romantic aspect to them as a couple. And I just didn't feel like it was the right fit. I don't know if that's something. Maybe if it was just two other people, maybe I don't know. I don't think I'm comfortable enough to say that I would add a third person in my current relationship. So I don't know if that's something that would be for me. What about you, Greg?
I don't like sharing. I'm kind of like the old school, like,
Yeah,
like one man guy.
you're
you know,
monogamous.
and then I'm monogamous, but like, you do your dirty work on the side and I don't know about it. And it's kind of like a secret.
That's not how that works. But okay.
I mean, that's not monogamy.
I'm
not.
I'm an old school monogamous,
That's not
I'm
how
like
that works.
your parents' age monogamous.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
like they know something's going on.
Yeah,
right?
but then we don't talk about it.
That's so
We don't talk about Bruno.
Yeah.
Literally.
Who's Bruno?
He's
Oh my gosh.
my Mexican.
It's a Disney movie. It's an animated.
Oh, I didn't see. Oh, that's another topic. I don't know like a lot of movies, like classic movies. 'Cause-
We'll table that. We'll table that.
yeah. Sorry, I'm like live thinking about topics for other
I
podcasts.
know. He's brainstorming on the
Yeah.
air.
What about this, guys? Who is most likely to get arrested?
Well, I mean,
The reason why you got arrested is up for interpretation, but who do you think?
I hate to say this about my friends, but I think Greg.
I've been arrested.
That because I know Greg's passed somewhat. I don't know if he's, but still,
who
I
is
say
most likely to be the next one arrested?
I would say
So it'd be
honestly,
between me and you then.
maybe I would be the least likely because I've been arrested 3 times, and so like I've been in the county, jail. I've
ever in Dallas.
eaten prison food. No, in Austin and then in Abilene.
So that was your life before you
You've
came to
ate
Dallas.
prison food.
Yeah.
Is it
I
as
don't.
bad as they say?
Were you in prison or were you in jail?
No, they shipped the prison food over to the county jail.
Okay.
It's the same food.
It's the same.
It was the
food.
same
like,
bologna sandwich.
I've felt that feeling of hopelessness. I've said never again. Like I've had to call my parents to bail me out. Then I had to, I had a good relationship with the bail bondsman. To have a bail bondsman on speed dial. Like, I'm just saying, like, I would never go back to that life. I have too much to lose. I have my viral TikToks. So I would think like anybody that got arrested from here, it would be like an accident.
So if it's not you, who do you think it would be?
So it's between me and
Probably Dom.
Why Dom?
Why me?
Yeah, why Dom? I'm actually curious about that. Actually, it'd be me.
You think?
Yeah.
Is it some type of domestic thing?
Yeah, like I think you and Memphis are gonna go at it, and
No.
I mean,
no.
Not because of.
and moving on to the next. No, I don't believe in domestic abuse or anything like that. I don't accept that from
Zero
any
tolerance.
partner.
Zero.
I don't accept that from anybody that my friends date. I don't accept that for them. Hopefully that's not any of my friends' situations, but hopefully that isn't a reason. You can't control everybody, but I know I'm able to control my temper. I'm a pretty level-headed guy, so hopefully you will not see me in jail for domestic type of situations or at all.
Yeah.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, I don't think any of us are gonna get arrested. Let's do a big knock on wood on that.
A huge knock on wood. What about this? Who's most likely to be on reality TV? Who would make a great reality TV personality?
I think Dom. I could see you doing like Big Brother or like Survivor.
Let me tell you, you know me, Greg,
I
because
don't-
I love Big Brother.
I don't see you being like on a messy reality show. It'd be like
No,
very like.
I mean, Big
strat-
Brother is very messy, but
It's messy,
very-
but it's like strategy.
strategic,
It would be a game behind it. You
Yeah,
know,
for
you
sure.
wouldn't be like Bad Girls Club or whatever.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
no,
You
I'm
would
not
be
wasting my
like
time on that.
the kind of one that everybody kind of misreads at the beginning, but then ends up like making it very far. And is actually kind of like sneaky and crafty. And like,
Come on, Julie Chan, get me on Big Brother. I'm ready. Like if I went on reality TV, that's the only show I could see myself being on. My family loves Big Brother. I love Big Brother. I have friends that we watch Big Brother. We do Big Brother fantasies. So I would love to be on that show. I think I have a really good social game. Everybody thinks that until they get on the show and then the first one's eliminated. But yeah, that's. I thank you. That's a huge compliment. I accept that.
I would say the same because Dom has had the conversation about wanting to be on that show. So, because I don't watch much TV at all, but I don't watch much reality TV, so I don't know a lot about that show or any other shows. But I say because he wants to be on it, like let's manifest it, let's make it happen.
You know what? I'm gonna get my friends here into Big Brother this summer. Like,
do we have to?
Yes, you have to. You did fantasy football and you guys loved it.
I did.
So I think you guys are watching Big Brother with me this summer, so you can get an understanding of what the show is about.
You know
I'll
what?
try it.
I'll give it a shot because you like it so much. You talk
Yeah.
about it. You want to be on it. If you, for the sake of our podcast as well,
You'll
I'll
give
give it a
it
shot.
You'll give it a shot.
Yes,
I
yes.
appreciate
We
it.
cannot be recapping Big Brother episodes.
Yeah, we don't
No,
want
no,
to.
no. Unless it just naturally comes up in the
but
podcast.
y'all can do a side podcast about that.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen an episode, but I will try it because I have heard it's excellent. But
Yeah.
anyways, moving on. What's the next?
Speaking of fantasy football, we did fantasy football for the first time last year, and we all really enjoyed it for the most part. Antonio was the winner of our fantasy football
Patrick
league this
Mahomes.
year. I am going to get a trophy this year, so to pass around to everybody who's going to do it. But who is the most likely to win this next season of fantasy football?
Oh, me, I think, because I took my licks and I learned from them, and I watched what everybody did. Like, I was just always strategizing, and did it backfire? Was I last?
Yeah.
But I mean, it was only last through the playoffs. I was up to the 5th before that, but I get it. If you ain't first, you're last. But really focused on getting better next year. So I think I just need a completely new roster.
Yeah, because the strategy of drafting everyone you think is attractive is definitely doesn't work.
It did not work.
I
Does not
mean,
work for
a lot
this
of
type
times
of
it
thing.
wasn't like that I thought they were attractive. It was just like, I like that name.
Greg, you
Like
traded your,
the
my
kicker.
gosh.
you traded your
Joe
entire
Gay.
team like 20 times.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
He was trade central every week. He was dropping and adding people. That team was never steady. Okay, I think I'm gonna win next year. I'm gonna call it now. I know who I want. I paid attention this year while we were watching the results. I looked at every team. I looked at their roster. I'm going to go back to refer to who performed well, and hopefully I can get some good picks next year. I'm ready. I'm already ready.
I think it'll be more competitive because I think we've all paid attention and kind of saw what we did last year, what worked, what didn't work. So I'm excited for next year because I'm ready to come back and make
I actually
a couple
can't
changes.
wait. I'm actually so excited.
Me too.
Cool. Hey, who's most likely to have children first?
To have children first, that implies that we're all going to have children.
Right.
Just in the assumption that we all have children. So who would most likely in this group of us three, who's going to be the first to have children?
Probably Greg, and I think it'll be an accident.
Well, I feel like you, Dom.
I feel like Dom would be like second for sure.
Yeah. Man, put me at second.
Why not first?
Because I think that if Dom has it, it'll be like through careful planning, something he thought about, something he talked to his
Strategic,
partner about. Like, I think that I'd be more likely to like just not knock somebody up, but like somebody's like, "Hey, do you want to have a kid?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, let's do it."
More spontaneous. About
Yeah,
it.
I think so.
Yeah.
Where I'd be like, wouldn't even think about it
And
like
also,
twice.
We're talking about actual children, not like your pet
Yes,
kids.
actual.
Oh yeah,
children.
we're not talking about fur babies
Yeah, we're not talking about that.
because you're already
so-
a dad in that respect. We know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you're the
okay.
first one to be a dad. in
And
that
here's your little
respect.
cat
I guess.
corner. Tell us about your Daxie.
Oh, I'm not going to talk about my cat.
Just
I'm not
this
gonna
is
be
the
that
floor.
guy.
Just talk about your cat for
No,
five
it's-
seconds.
it's not
I got a
the floor.
timer. I'm
my cat's
pointing at my
amazing.
finger.
He's annoying as fuck though, but he's amazing.
3,
And he won't get off my desk. I got a brand new
2,
desk. It's really huge. He won't get off of it. I love him, but I
1,
hate him. So yeah, that's it. My
0.
cat's great.
As far as having kids, I don't like to share. I still don't like to share as the 30-something-year-old man. I still don't like to share.
30-something.
You won't say your age on this podcast?
You're the youngest one here.
I know. What are you, like 32?
I don't want to talk.
You're
about
31.
it.
You're 31.
Me and Greg are halfway to that number.
70.
But yeah, I just, when you have a kid, you have to share everything: your time, your money, your space, your food, your energy, and I don't have that to give right now. And
Your money.
yeah, and I think all people say that until they actually have a child, and they're like, "Oh, I just love my kid. I do everything for my kid." And
they do.
Yeah. And until that day happens. Who do we think is the most likely to get married first?
And that implies that we're all going to get married.
That implies that we all are going to get married and want to get married.
Who's gonna be
me.
first? You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was talking about getting married with somebody like late last year.
You know?
Oh wait. Actually, that could be a tie.
What?
That could be a tie.
Really?
So you were too? Oh, wait. Between me and Greg?
You know about our?
Oh, well,
That
yeah.
You forgot about? You forgot about?
No.
Oh, I mean...
Our pact. No, of course I could
yeah.
never forget about it.
All right,
yeah.
so can we talk about it?
Yeah.
So me and Greg, we made a pact years ago that because me and Greg are like 2 months apart in age, so we will be 40 2 months apart, and I won't say how many years, but we said that if we're 40 and still single, we're just gonna get married, and that number's getting a little closer.
It's
we
getting
still
really close.
we still got some time, but
Because we made the pact like when we had like 8, years.
and those numbers have dwindled a little bit.
And it's gone so fast, and to the point that even like last time we had the conversation, you told me, you asked me, you said, "Is it when you turn 40 or is it when I turn 40? Because you're 2 months younger than me." And I'm like, "What are you going to be doing that 2 month interval? Are you just going to be trying to get married so quick?"
Right.
You're like, "Okay, I got a deadline now."
Yeah. So
Well, that means you have to give up your cat.
no,
What does it mean? You mean no?
I'm not giving up the cat. The cat's gonna be like 19 when it dies. Or
But
something.
Greg's allergic to cats.
You got to deal with it. Take some.
I'll
some
deal
pills.
with it. I'll deal with it for an arranged marriage. I will.
Oh, so steady bottles of Benadryl will be on
Yeah,
stack.
that's fine. It's
On
not that big of a
deck.
deal.
Relationships, marriages, they're all about compromise, even when,
Jeez. So, well, you have a double answer, everybody. Greg and Antonio are the most likely to get married
The
first.
twist we didn't realize.
Yeah.
Twist you didn't. You guys didn't know.
Yeah, my cat's gonna be like night. My cat's gonna live that long. That's a long time I've had that cat.
Oh
Anyway,
my gosh. So this is what I'll end off on. Who is most likely to quit this podcast first? Who's most likely?
Oh,
who's the
shit.
person that will need to?
Oh, my-
Who's the person that will need to be replaced first?
Time out. Can we pause?
this is complicated.
Tone.
What?
I mean,
How me?
obviously Tone. He almost didn't even like. The podcast didn't happen because he almost pulled out like day of. He's the diva.
The like 3 days before our first recording was said, he was not going to continue. But I think, in my opinion, I think now that we've started and we've been on this road with each other, I think he is committed now. He's seeing what we're doing and listening to the episodes and seeing how good we sound together and how things are just rolling on. I think he's more excited about it. The person that I think may be the first one to quit is probably Greg.
That's what I was gonna say. That was my vote, Greg.
I'm not going to say how many schedule changes we've had to have, but I think a majority of them have been because of Greg. And while I hope I'm wrong about it, and I
Same.
don't want any of us to quit, we started this journey together. I can't see me doing this with any other two people. These are the two of the funniest people that I know, and I enjoy our conversations. But, if I'm being honest,
Can I speak?
please.
When I started this podcast, this journey, and Antonio pulled out, I was kind of low key glad. But
I wouldn't
I'm
say
turning
that.
around. I'm turning around. Now that I'm doing it, and now that we're like listening to it, and we're like, it's a forced hangout in a way that we get less and less as we get older and older.
Right.
where we just talk about ourselves.
Right.
And I think about the fact that this is a time capsule.
Yeah.
You know, at the very
100%.
least, I can someday look back and listen on like where I was, what I was doing, what I was thinking, how stupid I was, like, and how cool my friends were. So,
Or look back and realize, like, wow, this is where we started, and now we're millionaires because our podcast blew up, and you know.
yeah, I think we're most likely to all become billionaires together or millionaires together. Let's not get crazy. But
Yeah.
I will say I probably still am the most likely to quit the podcast, but
At least you can admit
it's
it.
gonna be hard. It's gonna be a hard decision.
Yeah, I would hate to have to replace you, but I would do it
In a heartbeat, and that's the ruthless businessman in you.
Yeah,
But
I'm the Beyonce
the big brother.
of this group, so I have to,
Yeah.
if we gotta find replacements, I'm sorry, guys.
But it would be hard because our friendship is organic. Like we've all known
Yes.
each other for years. Like I met Dom through Greg, and we've all met our friends through each other and kind of collided as a big friend group. So I think it would be weird if one of us did quit because this is an organic friendship. This is not like some random, hey, let's do a podcast. You know? I think that's what makes our conversation flow well. And I would hope that, like, legit, I was like, right before we started, I was like, I'm not sure. I didn't know if I had the time to commit and didn't know what it was, but I've gotten more excited about it. Like the last episode that we did, which is episode 2, I listened to like 3 times.
Wow. Okay.
No, I'm not kidding. Like it was just, so I'm proud of, I'm like 40% of the listens we got.
Just keep on listening.
Keep
baby.
on listening.
But it was just exciting because I do listen to a lot of podcasts for like the last 5 years, and I do love podcasts. So just to hear our voice and us get more comfortable, and the other thing too is I feel like I've actually learned a lot more about you guys. You know, granted, it is kind of a forced sit down, but I feel like our conversations are pretty organic. You know, this is authentic. We're not just saying stuff for the sake of saying stuff.
For real.
Our relationship was solidified before we even started the podcast.
Yeah, and I will
sure,
say
sure.
I was even in a bad mood before this podcast. I mean, y'all saw it.
Oh, yeah, we
like
know.
I was in my head, and now I'm like
Feel better.
complete reset. So forced hangout, but also forced happiness.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to sound depressed on the podcast.
Yeah.
It's a great outlet for us, and I'm grateful to be able to spend this time with my friends, and I'm thankful for everyone who tunes in to listen to us. So hopefully there won't be any replacements. Even if there is a replacement, maybe it's just for a week, somebody is out, but you may hear a different voice. That doesn't mean that they're gone. Means they just may be busy, and that's life. So hopefully we don't have to deal with that.
But maybe we'll have guests in the future here and there.
100%.
Yeah, a lot of people want to be guests. So
Yeah, a lot of people are very excited about this journey that we're on.
and we got funny ass friends.
We have
so
funny friends, hilarious friends.
Y'all would be fine if they did replace me.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. I'm
No,
kidding.
they're just temporarily.
I'm saying in the podcast that I'm getting married with Antonio at
There
the
you
age
go.
of 40, and
Our listeners are going to tune in just to see if that happens. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in again. This has been another episode of Let Me Finish. And
Let me
I hope
finish.
you all continue to enjoy what we're talking about.
And
Thank
we'll see
you.
We'll see you next week.